To our left is a brick building from 1912. That little brick building there, called the Great Lakes Building, was the site of the Sauganash Hotel. The first hotel built in Chicago, early 1830s, a small western trading post built in a swamp. The Native Americans who used to live here called the swamp Chicago. They named the town Chicago in 1833 in the Sauganash Hotel, again, which used to sit just over there. The man who owned the hotel, Mark Beaubien, after the city began to grow really rapidly, that didn't really suit him very well. He liked it when it was small and peaceful, so he actually sold the hotel. He sold the Sauganash Hotel, Mark Beaubien did, and then he moved himself 25 miles away to the west of Chicago into a small, sleepy farming community called Naperville. Yeah, which today is like, what, 4th or 5th biggest city in the state? And those of you who know the area, you giggled, Mark Beaubien was an investor in what became known as the Plank Road. You can still drive along Plank Road in Chicago today, and the Plank Road, made of wood, brought goods from the train station to the farms people in Naperville. Anybody from there? A lot of you guys laughed. Nobody? That's okay. Someone in the back? Boom. What's up? Now, friends to our left, you're going to love this. It's by Getch Partners, the firm that did the guillotine behind you. This thing's just like 1 year old. 110 North Wacker Drive. Pocket Park, Riverwalk, V-shaped supports, cloudism, predatorism. It even has the shadow lines. Those creases, seams, or folds give you a corner office vibe, where otherwise you might not have one. And we're going to overcome this vessel here, and that's okay. We're going to knock out some triremes here at ramming speed. Take a picture of the facade here at the Civic Opera Building from 1929, designed by Graham Anderson, Probst and White. See how the building's a massive throne? What a lot of people miss on this building are on the balconettes. See the little comedy and tragedy theater masks? Gives you an indication of what's happening inside the building. Folks, at the upper lip of this chair, see along the edge of the chair, there's Native American chiefs. Their faces, their mouths are open, they're wearing headdresses. See that detail? A lot of folks miss that stuff on our beloved Civic Opera Building. We got to it going very fast as we passed by whatever this thing is over here. Some other boat. Some other boat, but some other guy who's not me. Nice to see downtown employees having drinks and snacks after work. Nice to see all the gentlemen dressing exactly the same. I guess light blue is the preferred color for gentlemen with no creativity in Chicago in the summer. The guy in the end though, he's mixing it up. That's the guy you want. Not the rest of those clowns. What's that, gingham? Come on, man, it's summer. We have fun out here. I could have told you on the CME, but that was more fun. But remember how we talked about modernism, the dark black boxes? Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill built this in the 60s. We saw it earlier. Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill also built that, but in the 70s. Yeah, it's a big white box. Man, things shifted. And we do chuckle at that today. But in the 70s, when that was built, you have to appreciate this. That would have been seen as like fanciful. Oh, it's decorative. Wow, look at that new building. It's so futuristic. So next gen. I would have called it textured box architecture. It's textured. The windows are recessed. The windows being recessed gives you a little bit of texture, gives you some shadows, gives you some depth. And of course these buildings built over the Metra and Amtrak trains. Sometimes the first thing people see as they come into Chicago on the trains are smiling faces waving at them on a boat. Those people there weren't having it, that was weird. Now that one is a shift in the style. See how that's like, okay, we're done with boxes. Please don't make me a box. Gateway Center 4 is from 1983. Good example of contextualism following the bend in the river. The green reflective convex glass gives you a kaleidoscope effect. Gateway Center 4 by James DeStefano. You heard his name a few times this evening. There's even outdoor dining if you want to bring a sack lunch to work. Yeah, save money, bring a sack lunch, watch the boats on the river. Haha. Now in the 70s, no seating outside, no patio. In fact, along this central panel is now a massive mural. That massive mural used to not exist 6 years ago. When the building got a new owner 6 years ago, he realized I did not talk about this building. The mural is there, we totally talk about it. See the mural? Check it out. See the dot in the middle? You are here. It's a map of downtown Chicago, emphasis on the river and the roadways, yeah? That dot there is technically that building, right? And where it sits in Chicago. And I love that about that. That means that in an effort to draw more attention to their building, to really put it on the map, I will let you all extrapolate the rest of that joke with your deductive reasoning skills. It's your turn to write some comedy. All right, friends, here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is what you came to see. A young couple arguing at the former main Chicago post office. You messed up now. Oh, she's smiling. Never mind. The old post office is from the Daniel Burnham plan. How are you? Yeah, stick it to him anyways. Burnham envisioned a roadway going through a public building. They built the post office in the 20s with the hole in the middle. They would not build this expressway until 1954. The old post office used to require a small army of people to sort mail by hand. Think of all the parcels being shipped out of here. 18 production floors in there. You've seen the production floor. Remember the Bat Cave in the Batman movie, The Dark Knight? That massive room? Yeah, that was one of the 18 production floors in there. They even filmed the bank robbery scene in the beginning of The Dark Knight in the lobby of the old post office. We call the building the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk. It's got 2.4 million square feet of space. Right now, the old post office is in the midst of a $1.3 billion renovation. They're turning it into Class A offices. They'll rip out all this nonsense and do a beautiful Riverwalk project in the coming years. And maybe you saw the signage on the expressway there. It said 18 minutes to Harlem Avenue. That's not bad. It was 44 minutes to Harlem on the last trip. It should say 9 minutes to Harlem. But 18 minutes to Harlem's good because I'm outbound to Naperville to go work the door at the Lantern tonight. I kid you not. Yeah. They're like, really? Really? Yeah, bro. Yeah. I live out there now, so come on by and I'll take your ID and ban you. Because you guys are just 25. And that's too young. Oldest tavern in downtown Naperville. Same family owned it since 1966. We've got bigger guys than myself, but hidden within this dad outfit is a monster waiting to come out. All right, friends, we love the South Branch. Right?
This dad outfit is a monster.
We love the South Branch. We operate down here. We're different than other outfits that you've been seeing. We cover more of the river. We've got personality. It's supposed to be fun and educational. This new neighborhood here is called the South Bank. 2 new luxury rentals, the Alta Grand Central, the Cooper. The Cooper's neat because they offer, in addition to studio 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, 2-story townhomes that you can rent. Look how chic they are. Yeah, the 2-story townhomes there go for about $7 to $9 grand a month. And you'll see folks sitting here on those limestone blocks. Unbeknownst to those people, those limestone blocks are what remained from the foundation from the rail yards that were down here along the river from the 1920s to the 70s. I kid you not, they dug up a lot of the foundation, repurposed that stone, used it in the landscaping. I think that's awesome. And here are a few of the crew that remain today. Look as though they're installing a bunch of drywall to be brought up into this new condo building. It's been quite mind-boggling, as it always is, to watch this new tower get built, to watch these people work hard all day, every day. It's incredible. Yeah, that's a lot of drywall. 70 boat slips, oh yeah. 500 plus units in this S-shaped building of poured reinforced concrete. Why does this look familiar to you? Not because we dock here, that's way too easy. This was done by Bertrand Goldberg, the guy who did the corn cob buildings. Yeah, he built those back in the 60s. It was a city within a city, so too is this from the 1980s. It's got a kinder care and preschool on the property. You can peek in the windows, see what the kids are working on. Yeah. And then notice how different it is down here. The sounds of downtown vanish.
Yeah.
This sounds like more like we're in the country. I've been told the country sounds like this. I call this the Chicago Prairie. This is as far as I go out of the city. Unless you're going to work at the Lantern. Yeah, take it easy. It's all part of my caricature. But you can see the remnants of an old bridge here, right and left-hand side. In fact, that big concrete tub there is where the weight for a single-leaf bascule trunnion bridge would have dropped down and out of the way. Even the power plant there. Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White designed it. They did the Wrigley building, the Civic Opera building, the Merchandise Mart, and then, yeah, a power plant that used to burn coal to provide steam power to the rail yards that were down here. These rail yards now belong to the Metra and Amtrak companies, but back in the day, this was all Pennsylvania Railroad property. My dad's dad, the North Steiners in my family, Grandpa Richard, for 39 years, he worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad here in Chicago. His dad, my great-grandpa Agner, came from Denmark. Yeah. As early as age 16, great-grandpa Agner was already sailing on sailing vessels for the Danish merchant marines. So we love these stories of the boating, the stories of coming from around the world to be here in Chicago. It's a world-class city built from folks from all over the planet. So you can see all this activity down here. Enjoy the passing boat. You'll see also down here to our left where they've already begun to build a even bigger neighborhood than the South Bank. The South Bank is tiny when compared to what this is. This is called the 78. The 78 is called that because it is the 78th community area in Chicago. Even within our current 77 community areas, there are even more neighborhoods. Okay, so Lakeshore East, the West Loop, Old Town, Logan Square, Andersonville, Ukrainian Village. Check out the South Side neighborhoods in Chicago of Hyde Park, Jackson Park, and Washington Park. Go see where the World's Fair of 1893 was held. The only building remaining from the fair, the only one they built to be permanent, today is the Museum of Science and Industry. And where the World's Fair of 1933 was held, today Museum Campus. Go see Shed Aquarium, Adler Planetarium, Field Museum, also in Grant Park, the Art Institute of Chicago, and up in Old Town, the Chicago History Museum. If the days get too hot and you want to get inside, go enjoy those museums. But frankly, summertime in Chicago, of course, the lakefront, the boats, all that good stuff.